Good afternoon to my brother and my sister. My Dhamma talk, the title is The Importance of Loving Kindness. Before talking about that, how long I can keep that? 1 hour. Okay. Before talking about this, I would like to ask you, all of you, do you want to live happily and peacefully in the world? All of you. Do you want to live happily and peacefully? Don't you want to live? I think everyone wants to live happily and peacefully. But mostly they don't know how to live, how to do. So nowadays, all the leaders of the countries, like a UN and this and that person, they are trying to solve so many problems happening in the world. And also they said that the world are heated, or we are heated. So how to solve? The scientist people are looking for that way how to. But most of the leaders who are looking for that way, they never think of themselves. Their heart, their mind isn't heated with what? Defilements, greed and hatred. But they never think how to solve. What is the happiness also? Mostly, we always trying to do the medical checkup, but never trying to do the mental checkup. They always looking outside, but never look at inside. Outside is not important. Inside is more important than outside. Even though we cannot solve our problem, how can we solve other problems? So we should try to solve ourselves, and also they should know how to solve. But they never know, and think that they do not know whether they are heated. Their hearts and minds are heated or not. They do not know. So today, why I give this importance of loving kindness? Today is according to our calendar, and also Korean calendar, also Full Moon Day. Is it Full Moon Day in Korean? Korean calendar, yeah. So our calendar and then Korean calendar also, it is a Full Moon Day. Today is a Full Moon Day. In Korea also special day, Pechung. And Theravada country, today is a Metta Day, Loving Kindness Day. There was a history. All the monks before the Vasa, before the rainy retreat, go to the teachers or Buddhas, learn the meditation method, and then go wherever they want, suitable place, and to practice the meditation. One day, the 30 monks group learned the meditation method, went to the forest to practice the meditation. In the forest, before they arrived there, celestial beings. When the monks arrive, they cannot live properly. For example, if someone come and live your home, they are not your friend. They never make you to become a friend. How can you? You cannot live happily and comfortably. So like this. First of all, then those monks, they never make a friend. They did not make a friend. So the celestial beings, they don't like the monk. And also they cannot live happily and peacefully and comfortably. So they show fearful appearance and fearful sounds. So those monks are afraid of them seeing and hearing. So they dare not to live there to practice. So they went back to the monastery, to the Buddha. So they explained what is the situation, why they came back here. So then the Buddha understood what they said. So then the Buddha taught the Metta Sutra, Loving Kindness Sutra. After learning the sutra, they went back to the forest. On the way to the forest, they cultivate the loving kindness to the celestial beings who are living there. When they arrived, all the celestial beings welcomed them warmly. They thought our friends are coming. So some friends come to your place, they will be welcomed by you because they are your friend. If the enemy come to you, they don't want to welcome. So that is the nature. So like this, the monks, those monks also, when they went back to the forest, they cultivate the loving kindness, then they become a friend. So they can practice meditation well. So the Buddha taught that the sutra is today. So in the Theravada country, Myanmar, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, and Laos, they celebrate Metta days today, especially at night, recite, chant. In the morning, invite the monks and offer and share the merit. At night, they chant the loving kindness, Metta Sutra. So that is in our Theravada tradition. So today is a special day. It is Metta Day, special Metta Day. Every day, all the Buddhist people are cultivating, at least recite that sutra. They are reciting. But some people, they don't know. Metta Sutra is just to how to use without just to recite. Reciting also can get a benefit, but not fully. Metta Sutra, Buddha mentioned everything, never mentioned to recite, but to practice a loving kindness meditation. Okay, first of all, you should know the metta. What is a metta? Metta is the meaning is English word is a loving kindness. In Pali, metta sa is a metta. Friend's mind is a metta. Everyone wants to make your friends be happy, to be happy, to be peaceful. The mind is a metta. But if we say metta, some people in our country, metta, and interpretation is a little different. They thought the metta is a love. Not just a love. You can say love is a tanna. Tanna is a craving, thirst. And then affection. So it's a little different. Love and loving kindness are very different. Love, tanna is a within greed, attachment. Metta is very pure, not concerned with defilement. So, metta can cultivate the metta in 3 ways: bodily, verbally, and mentally. Bodily, to helping the other, can show the metta. And when you are walking on the way, on the road, if you see there's some litter and torn piece of glasses, it's very dangerous. Then if you see that, take and throw away. Clean the road, clean the way. Is it a bodily metta? When you are cleaning, taking through away those little and the thorn and piece of glasses, those are dangerous. That time you can, in your mind, after cleaning, all the people may walk happily and peacefully in your mind, not to harm others. That is a bodily metta. And also verbally metta. Whenever you talk, you should talk good words, gently and softly, without using abuse, never not telling lie. And also you can say, oh, may be happy, healthy, worthy, like this, verbally. And also you can give advice for the students on how to study, how to prepare for the exam. That is also verbally metta. And also how you can advise for the business people, businessmen, how to do the business, to develop, to be successful. That is verbal metta. Can do everyone and everywhere. Wherever, whenever we meet another person, we can talk. But sometimes, some people are yelling at others, talking abuse, using abuse words. So they lack of the metta. The world we starved of the universal love. The world needs the universal love, but we do not know how to feed the universal love to the world, to everyone. So mental metta, how to? Mental metta is practicing loving kindness meditation. That is a mental metta. We can do wherever, whenever, bodily, verbally, and mentally. So, if you know when you practice loving kindness meditation, which advantage, benefit you can get, if you know like this, you will be happy to practice the loving kindness meditation. According to that, in the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha mentioned about that 11 kinds of benefits, 11 kinds of advantage. The one who always cultivate the loving kindness or practice the loving kindness meditation, for that person can sleep well. And also, that person can awake comfortably. And also, when he is sleeping, cannot dream an evil dream, cannot see the evil dream. If we do not cultivate the loving kindness meditation, if we never try to cultivate the loving kindness to all the beings, to others, and also, if we are lack of the loving kindness meditation, when we are angry, we cannot sleep. When we awake, when we get up, we are tired. and also can see the vivid dreams and when we are sleeping. So cannot sleep well. So for the person can sleep well and can get up comfortably and cannot see the evil dream. Number 4th one is an manusanam piyo hoti, for the person who are always cultivating loving kindness, send out the loving kindness to all the beings. Is there to dear to human beings. Not only the human being, but also the celestial being. But some people never try to cultivate, always shouting, fighting, torturing, and never think of to help, to talk gently, to show the behavior, good behavior. For that person, whoever see him, they don't want to associate, they don't want to talk. So, but for the person who cultivate the loving kindness meditation, want to associate, want to help, not only the human, but also the celestial being also. And another one is an Devadarakati. For that person, will be protected by the celestial beings, not to face the dangerous things, not to make a mistake in his life. Will help by then celestial being will help him. And another one is another Eki wa Witanwa Tatanwa Kamati. Eki is a fire. Vita is a poison. Satam is a weapon. Cannot hurt him. For the one who always practice the loving kindness meditation, you can read so many stories in the Buddha's teaching. The famous story is an Ultra lady and Siddhima. Siddhima, she is a prostitute. She wants to occupy an Uttara's husband. When there was an Uttara's house celebrating the offering ceremony, preparing for the offering ceremony, Siddhima, prostitute, the lady, poured the boiled oil on the Uttara's body. But at that time, Uttara thought properly and sent the cultivating loving kindness, sent the loving kindness to them, directly to the Siddhima, even though she saw her coming to her. But the violet oil became like a cool water. So, for the person who cultivates the loving kindness, fire, poison, and a weapon cannot hurt him. And then, Tuvotan Chaitan Samadhiyati, for the person can concentrate easily. The one who are always cultivate the loving kindness meditation to all the beings, for that person can concentrate easily when they are studying, when they are doing the job, can concentrate easily. But other person who are always thinking to destroy another, to harm other, to kill other, for that person cannot concentrate easily, because his mind is very rude, not soft, not gentle. So for the person who always cultivates the loving kindness, his mind become soft and gentle, so can concentrate easily. And another one is a Mukhavana Vipasidati. His face serene, becomes serene, peace and calm, peaceful and calm. So for the person who are angry, who are angry, the face, you can know how fearful, how ugly for the angry person. But who always cultivate the loving kindness, their face appearance is peaceful and serene. When we see that person, then that serene also jump to us. We can feel cool because of his loving kindness power. Then also another one, asamulo kalang kroti, can die unconfused. So when you may see, you may meet someone, and also in the movie also you may see, who are dying, not stable, shouting, asking, the body also shaking because I'm afraid of. But for the person who always cultivate the loving kindness and meditation, cannot be like that, can die peacefully. No need to inject some medicine to die peacefully. So the last one is Otri Abdi Vijandon Brahma Lokupako Hoti. If you cannot eradicate the defilements, you may be reborn in the Brahma world who practice then loving kindness meditation. So these 11 benefits, if you can cultivate the loving kindness, if you practice then loving kindness meditation, you can get. Mention that in the end in Kottara Nikaya. So in the Metta Sutra, the Buddha start Karaniya Mata Kuslena Yanta Santam Patam Bit Samicha. If you want to live happily and peacefully, if you want to dwell, penetrating the state of the calm, that means the Nibbana. If you want to go to the Nibbana, Karaniya Mata Kuslena. Karaniya, do. Mata Kuslena, Atta Kuslena, meaningful work. That means wholesome deeds. You should do the wholesome deeds. So for the person who wants to cultivate the loving kindness meditation, need that some ability. So for the students who want to sit for the exam, before sitting the exam, you should prepare well. Without preparing, cannot sit for the exam easily and properly. Also, if you do not prepare, maybe dangerous, may fail the exam. So for the person who wants to cultivate the loving kindness meditation, also the Buddha mentioned first what you need, what you want to prepare for that meditation. First, you should prepare yourself. Second, should be able. Second is meaning is so many. Here, second is confidence, and another one is also healthy person. Must be you are a healthy person, and also you must have confidence. To become then enlightened person, there is 5 ability. The first one is a confidence, saddha. You must have a confidence. Without confidence, you cannot be enlightened person. So, if you want to cultivate the loving kindness meditation, you must have a confidence. Without that, you cannot do it properly. You can do, but not properly. The one you must have a confidence. You must be able person. The second one is an uju, upright, honest. You must be honest person. That means bodily and verbally you must be honest, upright. Not cunning person. Should not be cunning person. For the cunning person cannot do then loving kindness meditation. And Buddha continuously said, Suhuju, Uju, Suhuju. Suhuju is a very upright, more honest. That means that mentally must be honest. Can show the bodily and verbally honestly, but mentally is cunning. For that person also cannot. For the person must be honest bodily, verbally, and mentally also. And then another one is suecho, obedient person, must be obedient person. Some people, they don't want to obey to the teacher, parents, elder person. They don't want to listen what they talk, what they instruct, what they admonish. So for that person also cannot cultivate, cannot practice the meditation, loving kindness meditation. Must be obedient person. And also mudu, must be gentle person, polite person. That is also very important. Wherever meeting and speech, they call it ladies and gentlemen. Not the other person, they call only the gentle person, not the other rude person, unpolite person. They never. That means an unpolite person cannot associate with an gentle society. So if we want to associate with a gentle society, we must be first gentle. Firstly, we must be gentle person. Otherwise, we cannot associate. If we are not gentle, just a human, not a really human. Human is a Pali, manusa. Manusa is a know what should be done and what should not be done. What is a right and what is a wrong. Knowing person. If we do not know, we cannot be called human. In Pali, manusa. So, if we want to be in the society, human society, we must be gentle person. So, for the person who want to cultivate the loving kindness, must be gentle. And then another one is anatimani. Anatimani is not be conceited. Conceited means is all the unwholesome deeds. But everyone can have an conceit. Where? Educational area, business area. My friends can pass the exam with a credit. Why I cannot? I will try to be like this. My friend can be successful doing the business in his business. Why I cannot? I will try. That kind of conceit is okay. Must be, must have. But I'm a professor. I'm a rich person. I'm an educated person. I'm a blue blood. Who is a blue blood or a red blood? No one blue blood. But you can say that like a higher person, they said a blue blood person, blue blood family, like this. So they are proud of themselves. That kind of conceit is not no need in the society, especially for the practitioner. And then santosako, be contented. Contentment must have a contentment. What you have, you must be content. You must content. You have one or two clothes, but it's okay. You need to look for that, this and that. You must have it, according to the Korean, just kimbap or kimchi. Oh, that's enough. can feel my stomach, like this. If you cannot think like this, if you cannot content, you will suffer. For that person cannot practice loving kindness meditation. And also super raw, easy to take care of. If you have a contentment, you can take care of yourself easily, and then you can be taken care of by others easily. If you don't have a contentment, you cannot take care of yourself easily. That is connecting each other. And then for the person who want to practice meditation, loving kindness meditation, apakecca must have a few activities, responsibilities. If the one who wants to cultivate and practice the loving kindness meditation, who are busy, how can he? Must be reduce their responsibility, their activities, their duties. Must try. Train yourself to be, not to be busy person. Then can cultivate the loving kindness easily. And then Sanlauka Voti, have a light living, have a pure position, position and a simple life. But some people cannot live in a simple life. They want to live for simple person, for some people who are rich, who are educated, who are highest person, but they live in a simple life, but always. For that person, it's very easy to live. For the other person, they are looking for always. They cannot content in a simple way, simple life. So for that person, has a chance to practice a loving kindness meditation because he cannot like himself also. And then another one is a santindriya. You should be controlled in your sense, seeing, hearing, smelling, taste, touching, and then mind. Object of conceptualization. If you cannot control your sense, six things, by seeing, if you cannot control your mind, if you cannot control your eyes, will be problem. So you must try to control your eyes. Buddha never asked and don't look at, but must be limit, must be discipline, must see with discipline. When you see, must be just a seeing. Don't think this and that. If you think, your mind will not be stable. In your mind will be something greedy or attachment, or sometimes you will hatred or anger, because you cannot control your eyes and hearing. Nowadays, if you hear hip hop, pop, older person they don't like, so when they hear they become angry because they cannot control their ears. So if we can control our sense, our six doors, we can cultivate the loving kindness. We can practice the loving kindness meditation easily. So you must control your sense. And another one is a nipaka, must be wise person. Wise person means is an educated person. Also, that is a wise person. But the Buddha means the wise person is not only that, but also then insight knowledge. You must have insight knowledge, samatha knowledge and vipassana knowledge and dhamma knowledge. If you don't have a dhamma knowledge, You cannot think properly. You cannot decide what should be done and what should not be done. So, and then Vinaya rule, mentally committing, then nothing happens. But according to the Abhidhamma, mentally happiness is also a problem. Mentally also not allowed. Mind are also not allowed to commit. That is Abhidhamma. Not in Vinaya rule, mentally is a Manorari Apatina Manati. If we commit mentally, it's okay, doesn't matter. But according to the Abhidhamma, mentally also, we are not allowed to commit, to think in proper way. So, if we know like this, if we have that kind of knowledge, we can live our life properly, happily. So that kind of knowledge, Dhamma knowledge, Samatha knowledge, and Vipassana knowledge, you must have. And then another one is an apakapo. Apakapo is a not be rude. Our bodily, mentally, verbally, mentally must be gentle, polite, should not be rude. And another one, Kuliswa Nanukedo. For the one who wants to practice a loving kindness meditation deeply, should not attach to your family and friends and this and that. If you have attachment, you cannot practice properly. For the people, lay people, the family and this and that. For the monks, we should not attach to the devotees. If we have attachment to the devotees, we cannot practice properly. We cannot do what we have to do. We cannot do properly. So we should not have attachment. And then the last one is a nacha kota machare kenchi yena when you pray upavatiyo. You should not commit even the slightest sin, slightest evil deeds, for which the wise man might censure him, but blamed by the wise people, educated people, higher people were blamed. That is the slightest sins, slightest evil deeds, that is also not allowed. Nowadays, very important, very serious. Wherever there is a CCTV, first ancient time, it was okay. Whatever we do, no one knows. But nowadays, you are not allowed to do wherever there is a CCTV. So you can say that is like a wise man. They are watching. So we must have that kind of 15 ability for the one who wants to cultivate and practice the loving kindness meditation. If we don't have these abilities, how can we? We can cultivate the loving kindness, but not properly. We cannot get fully the benefits. If we want to get these advantage, we must have these. We must prepare these ability, and also we must be trained ourselves. Last few days ago in London, there was an Olympic. Those people, before going there, they have to train themselves. Without training, they cannot do. They cannot go there as cannot do the competition. So for us also, when we were younghood, as soon as when we were born, we cannot walk, we cannot talk. As soon as I arrived in Korea, I cannot talk Korean, but now I train myself little by little. I can talk just a little. So like this in the Dhamma also, if we try, we can be So if we want to practice loving kindness meditation fully, we must be like this. Otherwise, I cannot get the advantage fully. So, in the Metta Sutra, the Buddha mentions how to cultivate also. He mentioned many ways, but the important first one is must cultivate all the beings. Metta, his object is beings, not the suffering person, not the happier person, all the person. For the karuna, kindness, only his object is only the poor suffering person. Mudita is for only the happy person. Metta and upekha is not like that. Everyone who are suffer or happy. So, in the Metta Sutra, he mentioned, the Buddha mentioned that how to cultivate also. I share that. Did you share that to people? I share that to people. So, I want to not all. I want to mention something because if you do not study well, you do not know who are. So the first one is may all beings always be happy and peaceful and free from enemy and danger. That is all beings. There is no exception. But some people say, I'm always cultivate the loving kindness. The whole, all beings in the world except him. This and that. That is not really loving kindness. He has a little the anger, disappointment. Should not have it like this. If we cultivate the loving kindness, must be think of all, no exception. Should not be exception. So may all beings. Sometimes we don't know how to cultivate. Okay, you cultivate. You send the loving kindness to all the beings. Should not think, my friend, my family, my country, my relatives. Should not think like this. Then another one, Buddha say, may all beings who are fear and do not fear. Then in the world, fear and not fear. We are all we are fear person. Why? All the ordinary persons are fear person. Because we do not eradicate the defilement, especially then anger. We do not eradicate it yet. So we are fear person. Not fear is an already enlightened person from the anagami person to higher, anagami arahanta. Fear person also included sotapanna, sakadagami. Not fear person is for anagami, from anagami to higher person. So we are fear. And for the enlightened person is not fear person. Should know like this. Fear person, he can fear. He fear this and that. He doesn't fear this and that. He does not fear this and not like that. Buddha mentioned only concerned with the nature, concerned with the Dhamma, not other. So fear and unfear is like this. And may all beings who are seen and not seen. We can see each other, but we cannot see other like celestial beings like this. And who are far and near, who are around us, who are very far from, for the American people, their family, their friends are very far from Korea. For me also very far from Korea. So, something like this, near or far. And also who have ended and not ended rebirth. Ended mean is for the dead person, not like that. Not ended mean Not indeed mean is a light person, not like that. Indeed and not indeed is for the enlightened person who have already eradicated all the defilements. He will not be reborn again. So for that person already indeed rebirth, never reborn. So for us, we may be reborn because up to now we cannot eradicate all the defilements, and now we are just an ordinary person. So we are not indeed. So like this. And also who are long and short and medium, the long and snake and this and that. So long and short and medium. And also big and small and medium size. The elephant, whale, and those are very big. Like this, you can see the size. And also who are fat and thin and medium. So like this, Buddha divide, not to miss something. But if you do not know how to, cultivate all the beings. And then, may all beings free from deceiving each other. Nowadays, always we are. Some people are trying to deceive others. And also, may all beings free from contempt for each other. If some people cannot do this and that, other people who can do, look down on that. And the rich person look down on the poor person. Educated person look down on the uneducated person. Higher person look down on the lower person. Should not be like this. We ask not to be like that. And we all people free from contempt for each other. And the world always like this happening. And may all people free from the desirous suffering for each other. Wherever you see, you listen to the news, every day you can hear, you can know them suffering people. Not only the other countries, but also in Korea also. Because the last few days ago there was a typhoon. Some people, their house was collapsed, and accidents, damage, this and that. They suffer. They are suffering. So like this also. May all people free from the desirous suffering for each other. Like this. Some people are torturing. So from that suffering, be free from. Like this, we have to. So in the Metta Sutra, the Buddha mentioned like this: what we have, what kind of ability we must have, then also how to cultivate in detail he mentioned. So those are normally, we are just recite that sutra. Never think to cultivate, and never think to practice as a meditation. But the Buddha asked to practice the meditation. So some people think to practice, to cultivate the loving kindness. First of all, they thought for the nearest person who are lover, who are family, who are relatives. It is wrong. Should not do like this. When we cultivate the loving kindness, how we must have our mind how should be is a mother's love, mother's mind who has one child. The mother who has one child always taking care of her son. Even though she has a risk at the risk of her life, she never miss her life. She always think of her son to take care of, not to die, not to face the dangerous, not to suffer. We must train ourselves, our mind to be that kind of mind, all the beings that look like one child who has the mother who has one child. And also the one who has one eyes, he always trying to take care of his eyes, one eyes. For the person who has two eyes and never take care of. But the one eyes person, he take care of than other, more than other. Because if we lose this one, very dangerous. So like this, when we cultivate the loving kindness to all the beings like that, for that person, for one eyes person. So our mind should try to be like this. And then at the end of that sutra, in the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha mentioned that for the one who cultivates the loving kindness can get 11 benefits. Not only that, at the end of the sutra, the Buddha mentioned Daitinsa Anupagama Tilawa Tatanina Tampano. Why you are practicing the loving kindness meditation? If you can practice, the person who has sent the loving kindness has only the mind and metta, nothing more. The one who accepts the loving kindness also he has a mind and metta, nothing more. There is no he, no she, no I, no man, no woman. If you can eradicate the wrong view, you can get some insight and knowledge. Before that, you must observe the morality also. Based on the morality, you must practice. By practicing the loving kindness meditation, if you can change the way like this to be vipassana way, if you can think, if you can practice, we have only mind and metta, nothing more. Everything is changing. There is a mind and metta are also always changing. That is impermanence. Because always changing, that is suffering. Even though we want to order not to happen, not to change, they never listen to us what we said. So that is an non-self, anatta. So if we can realize what they really are, then you can obtain them insight and knowledge. Then you can eradicate some defilements. Then you can be enlightened person. If you can do like this, you can be ended person. You will not be reborn again in the mother's womb. Buddha always gives the Dhamma. Whenever he gives the Dhamma talk, he talks the Dhamma talk, he guides all the people to go to Nibbana, up to Nibbana. He shows the way, not only to get this and that, but also all. But every sutra, if you read the sutra, there's just a short, not in detail. But always, whenever he explains, he shows the way up to the Nibbana. If you if you follow the way, you can reach. If you do not follow, you cannot reach there. So the Buddha also talking about this sutra, when he taught about this sutra, also, Detantara Nise Nova, Tea Nova, Yavata Savita Mido. Etansring Aditya Detins Cha Anupagama Silawa Tasanina Sampano. Kamesu Vinaya Kira Nahi Chatukapasya Punariti. Kamesu Vinaya Kira. If you can eradicate all the defilements, you will not be reborn again in the mother's womb. So you must try to practice the loving kindness meditation if you want to live happily and peacefully in your daily life. And also, you should suggest advice to the UN also, all the country, all the people, if they are trying to make a peace in the world, but they never try to cultivate the loving kindness, just make a weapon, just make a war, just quarreling each other, cannot get a peace. So they can talk with a loving kindness. They may get a peaceful, but they never try. So all the people can cultivate the loving kindness, the world will be peaceful. Otherwise, it will not. So, all of you, if you want to live happily and peacefully in your daily life, and also if you want to make the world peaceful, please try to cultivate the loving kindness meditation. To cultivate the loving kindness, please practice the loving kindness meditation. By practicing meditation, not only to live in this life peacefully and happily, but also you can eradicate all the defilements. Then totally you will be peaceful, and then you can attain the Nibbana. So may all of you listening to this Dhamma talk, please try to cultivate the loving kindness meditation to all the beings, no exception. Then, cultivating the loving kindness, may all of you attain the Nibbana in this very life, an easy way. Okay, thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.